Alright guys, so today in this video I'm going to be talking about why you should do your research on Glock. I'm going to talk about my everyday carry, the reason I carry it, how I acquired it, and why I chose it to be my first firearms purchase in my name, and also why I chose it specifically to be my everyday carry. So this right here is my Glock 48. This is again my everyday carry, and just so YouTube is happy, as you can see this thing is completely clear. There's not even a magazine inside of it. This right here is my Glock 48. If you guys don't know what a Glock 48 is, I'm sure you probably know what a Glock 43X is. Glock 43X is one of the smallest pistols that Glock makes. So this has the same frame as a 43X, the same rail, same trigger, everything. The only thing that is different is the slide in the upper is about an inch longer, so 3/4 of an inch longer. And the reason that I chose the Glock 48 over Glock 43X, because I was eventually going to run a flashlight on it, and on most flashlights, they stick out past the barrel on a 43X. That's why I got the 48. I think it looks a little bit better that way. That is the only reason, is for looks on why I picked a 48 over a 43X. As far as how they shoot the exact same. I've shot both, and I really liked both, but I picked this one because for the price range, they're about the same. The only difference is just the barrel's a little bit longer. On top is my SCS carry from HoloSun. It's got the closed laser, so nothing's gonna get in there, junk anything up. It's got the solar charger on top, so hopefully the battery never died. And it was a direct mount on top of this, so I didn't have to have any special plates or anything like that. The plate came with the HoloSun. I've got my Louis Vuitton bag slide plate on there just because me and the boys were at a gun show. They were selling them. They're really cheap. We'll talk about aftermarket accessories for Glocks here in just a little bit. Then I got my 20 round Shield Arms mags with the Shield Arms mag catch. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot done to this Glock, and there's a reason for that. Glock is known for their reliability, and that's why you need to do your research on them. There's a whole bunch of people that say Glocks aren't the best, and I'm not gonna sit here and say Glock's the best gun you can go out and buy. My only complaints about this gun are the fact that the grip is not very grippy, I guess you could say, but that's all stuff I can change for cheap. I can literally stipple this myself if I wanted to. But other than that, it's a fantastic pistol. I've shot all kinds of different Glocks. They are all very, very, very nice, and the reason I picked the 48 as my daily carry is because of how thin it is. Same thing for the 43X. It's extremely thin, and I carry appendix, so I want something that was going to be really thin and very, very easy to conceal. So how I acquired this gun was actually the day after my 21st birthday. I'm only 21, so I've owned this for about 3 months now. The day after my 21st birthday, I knew I wanted to everyday carry, and here in Missouri, you can actually conceal carry at 19, but I wanted to wait till I was 21 because if I ever had to use it, I wanted the gun to be in my name, so there was no problems there. So that's why I waited till I was 21 to actually carry one, and this was the one I knew I wanted to carry because I've shot a 43X, and my buddies all like 43Xs, but when I was actually went in looking for a 43X, the guy talked to me, talked about the flashlight, and I knew I'd want to run one eventually. He talked me into getting this 48, and I absolutely love it. So this gun right here, I've probably put close to about 300, 400 rounds through it, and again, I absolutely love it. The reason I chose a Glock and the reason I knew I wanted a Glock is because they have 40 years of known reliability. Probably 75% of EDC carriers carry a Glock. Most police officers, at least from what I know, carry Glocks. Like, Glock is just, you hear about them everywhere. Everybody's always talking about them. So that right there was a big seller for me on why I picked to carry a Glock. Another reason I picked a Glock is because the aftermarkets for them. I mean, you can get any optics you want to put on these things. They make all kinds of plates to run. Again, any optic. You can get these backslide plates. You can get freaking slides, complete uppers, triggers. You can buy different bodies. You can easily stipple them. There's just endless amount of things you can do. You can run a 50 round drum on the bottom of this thing if you wanted to. I will never do that. But the aftermarket world for these is incredible, and I'm sure there's lots of aftermarkets for SIGs, MPs, Canics, all that different stuff. But Glock, I can run 30 minutes over there to my Bass Pro and get Zafiri precision slides. Like, that's insane, the fact that they sell all that stuff for Glocks. They didn't sell it for anything else, just Glocks. So I like the fact that Glock aftermarket stuff is easily available, and if it is not in store 30 minutes away, you can order it online and it'll be at your house in 3 to 5 days. So I'm going to talk about another thing that a lot of people talk about the problem with, especially the Gen 5 Glocks, is the grip angle right here. I don't really have a problem with it, and I've held a lot of pistols, so I feel like I know like what's good and what's not. Like the way that I hold it, I mean, it feels good to me. Like it feels really good. But again, what works for me may not work for you, and I'm actually gonna get that into a little bit on why you need to do your research. But again, that grip angle, like, it feels really good to me. I can hold it down. I can keep control of the recoil. And overall, again, I just really like it. They're very, very easy to take apart. You just pull this down right here, pull the trigger, and that's it. Like, they're very easy to take apart, clean. They're very user-friendly, and again, they're reliable. So I'll go ahead and talk about why you should do your research on Glock, because you may not want to carry a Glock. There's 100 different brands out there that other people use, and that's why, again, you need to do your research to figure out what you're wanting to use it for, and obviously what your price range is. I've got like $1,100 into this. Again, this optic is about 450 bucks, the gun's about 510, this magazine was $80, and then obviously the ammo that I have put in it and whatnot. So you need to figure out what your budget is. So I'll go ahead and show an explanation. My buddy has been trying to find something that he just wants to shoot, you know, a couple times, make sure he's good with it so he can trust it, and then maybe carry it here and there, but mainly for home defense. But his budget's like, he doesn't want to spend $1,100. He wants to spend like max 400 bucks. So that's where you need to figure out what your budget is. Do your research on your budget, find pistols in that, and again, do your research, and if you can, shoot them. I have shot so many 43Xs. I actually never shot a 48, but I've shot so many 43Xs, and everybody said they're the exact same. So that's why I picked a 48, because I loved the 43X so much, and I like the look of the 48 more, especially with a flashlight. That's why I picked this. I did my research. I probably looked for close to a month before I ever even walked foot into stores looking for one. So you need to do your research on what you're going to use it for, because if you're only going to shoot it a couple times to make sure you're accurate with it, that you're comfortable using it, and then just use it from home defense, leave it sitting around, maybe shoot it every once in a while just to make sure it's cleaned up and whatnot, then you may not need to spend $1,100 on one. I spent $1,100 on one because I want to know that after 3,000 rounds of firing through this thing in a home defense or self-defense situation, it will fire. Now, again, I hope that never happens, but I can't guarantee through like a Taurus G2C that 3,000 rounds later, when I actually need it, it is going to fire. I can't guarantee that. 3,000 rounds is that's a lot of wear on the inside of this. Even if you keep it clean and all that, that's a lot of wear, and I can't guarantee that that is going to happen. Versus Glocks. Glocks are known for their reliability. Again, that 40 years of reliability of officers using them, and again, them just being used as everyday carry. So that is another reason I picked a Glock. And how I mentioned that 40 years of reliability, that is the other downside to Glock, is the fact that they haven't changed much. How I see it is what Glock was thinking when they made from Gen 1 all the way to Gen 5, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you lined up a Gen 1 17 to a Gen 5 17, yes, they look different. Yes, there's differences. The grip angle is different. The grip is definitely probably a lot worse on the Gen 5s. There is going to be differences. Corners are more rounded off. But as far as the internals, they have not changed all that much. And that has given other companies an advantage to actually catch up from 20 to 40 years, or however long companies have been out, to catch up and make a just as good of a gun or better than Glock. For example, Canik has been around, I'm not sure how many years, probably like 10 years, something like that. They have made a very, very good gun, especially at a very, very competitive price range. A lot of them are cheaper than Glocks, and people are raving about them right now. But that's like 30 less years than Glock has been around. So that is why I picked a Glock, because again, I want to be able to shoot it for, I may not need to use this for self-defense or home defense for 10 years. I might shoot 10,000 rounds out of this thing. I want to know in 10,000 rounds that it is going to fire, because that has happened before. People have shot 10,000 rounds out of these things, and when they need them, they still work. I'm not sure how much that has happened with Caniks, and I haven't done my research on Caniks, so that is why, again, I picked a Glock. So I know this was a short video, but I want to come on here and tell you guys about my daily carry, again, how I acquired it, and two, I just want to end this off with, do your freaking research. Figure out what your budget is, find guns in that budget, and if you can, shoot them. And again, do all your research on them. Figure out, do you want a bunch of aftermarket stuff? Do you want to fire 5,000 rounds through it before you ever actually need to shoot it for home defense or self-defense? And again, it just comes down to, again, what do you want to use it for? You wanting a comp gun, or, you just want this gun to sit around just in case you need it. Now, I always recommend you go out, fire it every now and then just to make sure you're good, you're accurate. And again, that gun is going to shoot, because there's no sense in letting a gun shoot around for 10 years. The insides are rusting, and then it won't shoot when the day you actually need it comes. So I hope this video helped you picking out what your daily carry is going to be, because I think everybody should exercise their Second Amendment right and carry if you can in your state. The chances of all those rights going away seems like it increases every single day. So get in while you can, get in while they're pretty somewhat easy to get, and get you one to carry. But again, do your research. I'm out.